So the QR code has been found inside of the movie Leave the World Behind. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that. But here's the crazier part. Some people actually found out where it leads to. And it's crazy. But it gets even more crazier than that. It actually turns to scary when you find out what it's connected to. This is what I found, and it blew my mind. Check it out.
Located in West Virginia, Lake Shawnee was an amusement park that opened to the public in 1926. Unfortunately, the park had experienced a handful of deaths, including a swing ride accident involving a little girl and a drowning of a little boy. The amusement park was eventually abandoned in 1966. The land on which the park sits on has a dark history that dates back to the 1700s. A man by the name of Mitchell Clay purchased the property and raised his family on an 800-acre farm. Disaster struck the Clay family in 1783 when a Native American tribe slaughtered 2 of his children, with one being burned alive. It was later discovered that the park rests on an ancient burial ground that is full of human remains, which mostly consists of children's skeletons, and experts believe they were there long before the Clay family purchased the land.
Now, in regards to the movie Leave the World Behind, executive produced by the Obamas, I am encouraging you all to watch Dan Calloway's YouTube video, People Losing Their Minds Over This Netflix Movie. Do you know? This brother is knowledgeable in the history of our indigenous roots, okay? And he is code reading the movie. And as I said, the movie gives specific messages to specific groups in America. Everybody gonna get something different from this movie. It was intended to be that way, okay? It was also intended for us to tap into history that is not widely known. And if we knew it, we would be able to better understand the messages conveyed in the movie. So, in regard to that, I wanted to share a snippet of his breakdown. It's a 4-hour YouTube video, but it's worth the listen, okay? Everybody needs to tap into this because he has 2 hours of people calling in and sharing what they got from the movie as well. And so in its entirety, it's a must watch. The first immigrants arrived in 1492. The story we were told were they were the peaceful pilgrims. The real story is those were the group of people that were cast out, okay? Because they were the undesirables. And to pay their debt back to the queen, they were the guinea pigs that had to go to the New World where we was already here, okay, holding it down. So they had to come and fight with us to get land and resources and start a new life to pay their debt back to the queen. That was the story of the pilgrims, right? Listen to this.
Try to tell you. So now, frequency changing. They telling you that the frequency changed in 1619. No signal, no nothing. You get no reception. 1619. Wait, megahertz? Hold up. So wait, it's not a station. You're searching for a particular signal. 1619. Oh, signal. Because if you can find a signal, because then you can ping others either for help or you can ping others to tell them it's safe to come on. 1619 is a ping. Take Boston. We could go from Boston, take the Mississippi River, a hop, skip, and jump to the biggest natural harbor in New York. And it get deep because if it's dark, they can't see. But the Statue of Liberty was what, y'all? The Statue of Liberty was a lighthouse that guided them to where to go. Again, they said that New York has one of the largest natural harbors on the planet. So it also, this is how we know, number one, that the transatlantic slave trade did not happen the way that we were told. And number two, now we know the route that they took as far as the foreigners that came here. Not just Ellis Island. Not just Ellis Island. What's that hotel? I told y'all this in the movie. Where that hotel said is that Motel 6 or something like that? They'll leave the light on for you. I told you about how when they called for Batman, they put a spotlight in the air. Batman see it. This is the exact same thing.
Call for help.
And you know who talked about that? Mark Twain. It's not a game. So now we know the signal, the area, the message. And the majority of the people that got upset about this movie, this is the next thing we're about to talk about. The majority of the people that got upset about this movie were Caucasian. They didn't like how this was going. They didn't like the message that it was portraying. Now, that's totally up to you. That's totally up to them. I'm not trying to tell them what to do, but I'm telling you the hidden message. The hidden message is that 1619 story had all to do with you. I'm going to summarize it up right now. As far as the Caucasian, not our people. We were already here. Don't forget that this movie was showing you that him and his daughter were better off. They were in a good position. Oh, okay, right here. That was their house that the so-called white family were renting at that time. Listen to this, y'all. They were renting their house. And remember how she got upset, the daughter got upset? That the family asked them to, well, was it the father that said that or the family? Or no, I think it was the white wife, if I'm not mistaken, the Caucasian wife asked them to sleep in another room. They ended up sleeping in the basement of their own house. And she pointed that out. So they were trying to make it seem like it was already tension. And we ain't got to make pretend. But that the Caucasian woman was throwing it in their face. He had like a 2008 Bentley. He was driving a 2008, 2009 Bentley, old school Bentley, but still worth some money. Nice house, had a pool in the backyard and everything. Okay, this was his collection of records right here.
This is what I conveyed to Andre as well, that we were able to see a black man be in a position usually held by white men with the resources and the knowledge to protect themselves in chaos.
It went from K-A-R-E-N to C-A-R-R-Y-I-N-G. But anyway, so to really pinpoint what was happening, we don't know. That's the main reason why they were showing you so many things was happening, because apparently in this movie, they wanted you to make up your own assumption as to what is going to happen that will create this type of apocalypse in America. Come from the frequency changing. This is the reason why you saw the animals moving in different directions, especially dealing with the deer. Now, the deer in this movie, and that also came from the book as well, the deer in the movie, the reason why they were trying to pinpoint the deer in the movie and made it seem like they could be a threat is because they want you to, as far as they're concerned, the way it looked, they wanted you to think that the deer could be a threat if manipulated by way of frequency. But what happens is that deer and certain other animals try to talk to humans if they need help. Like, for example, I remember when I lived in the mountains in North Carolina, it's either deer or bears, but deer especially, if they're hungry and something happened to them, hear me out, and something happened to them where they can't actually go get their own food out there in the wild, they will go up to a human's house deep. Like, they were deeper than this. I know it's not showing all of them, but they were all around here and trying to come to their house. But at this time, they weren't looking for food. They were trying to send a message to let them know there's something wrong. So when you see a bunch of deer like that, something is wrong. It's not the fact that they're trying to attack you. They're trying to tell you something. Okay? They're trying to tell you something. They're trying to inform you. That's why they kept coming back, trying to let them know that something is going on, because this family didn't know.
How I interpreted was this family was favored, right? Because they happened to stumble onto the black man's house, which was already in position to take on any blows from society that was going to create chaos. So they were protected in a sense, right? So the fact that everything that they got and was provided for is coming from a black man is the irony. That's why I say we live in the era of heightened hypocrisy right now. Also consider how hip-hop was stolen and the culture vultures are using it as a tool of destruction